been rejoined by Immersion. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Thanks for coming in. I know you were playing in Manchester on Saturday and you decided to stay over an extra couple of nights to come and play for us, so thank you.
Well, thank you for having us.
Always an absolute pleasure. So Colin Newman and Marcus Beagle. And before we get to the first tune, Colin, it was not exactly a coincidence that I played Brian Eno, because I know that you've got some kind of connection going back to the 70s with him.
Well, yes, where I did it wasn't a degree course, it was a kind of diploma course in art school in Watford. Peter Schmidt, who was one of the foundation tutors, was the guy that did Oblique Strategies with Brian Eno. And so Eno used to come in every now and then and kind of give little lectures and things. And in fact, the first time I heard King's Lead Hat was when he just basically played the album to a bunch of people. He just came in to plug his album to the students, basically. that was, you know. But there was a guy who was our year tutor called in the second year called Hans-Jörg Meyer, who lived in North London and used to give me a lift home from Watford because I lived in North London. And very often Brian would come with if he'd been in. So I did spend it's all pre-wire, a few kind of journeys back to London, sitting in the back of Hans-Jörg Meyer's car with Brian Eno, chatting about, you know, the stuff you chat about, basically.
That's an interesting concept, though, because when you looked at Eno with Roxy Music, and who were dressing pretty out there anyway, but Eno always was the one who you would look at and think, God, he's come from another planet, a bit like the Spiders, if you like. But to sit in the back of back of a car talking about the price of milk or whatever just seems really...
Well, mainly about art, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, what was fantastic, and it was an amazing piece of training to just, you know, sitting with those people. I wasn't treated like a student. I was just another person.
Right.
With a totally valid opinion, whatever even if I was talking out my backside, you know, I was treated like, and it just made me think, that's a world I can be part of.
Amazing. Yeah, great. Okay, just a lovely little story to start with. We'll get to Immersion and various other things after you've done the next tune for us. So what are you going to do now?
So the next one is How to Be.
Brilliant, thank you.
Will it become meaningless? Are we going round in circles? Is this something we have said before and felt before?
follow or we can lead. Things are changing at such a speed. Living in the now. Living in the now. Uncertain times and all is strange. Everything is born out of change. Living in the now. Living in the now.
Nothing short of wonderful. One of my favourite tunes of the last few years, most definitely. That was Immersion live in session with How to Be.